Hello, my beautiful friends. How are you guys doing? Welcome to the Active and Attractive community. We are in the middle of a very, very lengthy series, and if you're catching this in the middle, I want to welcome you into this live stream because, guys, you're in for a treat. We're talking about some pretty big time and incredible things here inside of this community, and the overall intention is that we are bringing health to you as a leader. So what I want to do today is I want to talk and say, hello, Maria. What's going on, friend? Hi. I want to welcome you guys in here. And what we're doing is we are about to enter into a new season, guys. The time that this live stream is being streamed, we're at the very, very final week of the year. It's 2023. And this entire year has been one that I'm sure all of you guys have something incredible or not so incredible to say. But what I want to do is I want to set us up. I want to set us up for the healthiest year of our lives. Now, many of you guys know that I'm technically a health coach. I started out in the health and fitness industry. I've been in that field for a very, very long time. And one of the things that I encountered being a health coach was that my clients that were successful and the clients who were not had a very distinct difference between why they were successful and why they were not. When I sat with myself and I compared, I was like, okay, what is making my clients who are winning win versus the clients who have the heart, they have the vision, they have the intention to do great things, but for some reason something's not clicking. I noticed that the difference between the two clients is that the ones who were winning had a very strong sense of identity. So identity is the conversation that we're having here today. Identity is the conversation that I believe is the make or break between your success and you feeling like you're spinning in a cycle over and over again, wishing for more, wishing for a healthier body, wishing for a bigger business, wishing for a promotion, wishing for a deeper relationship with your spouse, wishing for the next person to come into your life and sweep you off your feet. The thing that I've noticed between people who have what they want and those moments in our lives where we don't have what it is that we want is the difference between our connection with our identity and our disconnection with our identity. So this is a big conversation. This is not something light. And as a health coach who is extremely desirous to help you lead your life, lead your business, lead your family, lead your body, lead yourself in a way that allows you to feel healthy while you're doing it, I want to have the real conversations with you because health is not just about macronutrients. It's not just about how long you're working out, although those parts do build the body of your dreams. Health is ultimately about the way you feel with yourself and your ability to decipher what's me and what's not me. So for those of you guys who are new to the conversation, let me know that you're new. Comment down below. This is your first time to the dialogue. And if you've been with me for the last couple of months and you've been massaging this and you've been living and breathing what we've been talking about, let me know that you're here. I would love to see that you guys are here live. Now, ladies, like I said, we are edging into Kath. Hello, my friend. How's it going? I'm so happy you made it live. Guys, Kath, what we're talking about today are pretty big things because the truth is to me and my experience, a life to the healthiest life you've ever experienced comes from you knowing yourself. I have written many fitness plans. I've written many meal plans. I've written many life plans, sleep plans, love plans, business plans. I've written so many plans for people that I've seen the distinction that happens for the people who actually get the thing that we put on paper and the people who don't. The truth is that when we don't feel connected with ourselves, it's probably the most unhealthy position we can be in. Kath says, I've seen you before, but not for a while. I'm so happy you're here. Seriously, that means so much to me. I'm so excited because I don't know if you've been watching the lives that we've been doing over the last couple of months, but they're pretty big conversations. And the reason being is because I've seen a lot of people succeed in their lives. And the people who succeed, there's still that weird place where some of them are successful, but they're not happy. And some people are successful and they're happy. Why is it that at the beginning of any new year, we would set a resolution for ourselves saying, I want to lose 50 pounds. I want to make $100,000 in my business this year. I want to find the love of my life. I want to be in a relationship. I want me and my kids and their relationship together to feel deep. I want it to feel connected. Why would we ever say that we want these things and we're not happy when we get there? For me, the difference between the people who are able to find happiness and maintain the happiness are the people who know deep down inside what is a yes for them and what's a no for them. Let me know if you felt this down in the comments below, a connection with how much you know you are connected with yourself versus this foggy, weird feeling of, I think I know who I am, but I don't know. For me, I'm 34 now. I have spent a good majority of that time feeling it like I'm living in the, I don't know. I could tell you what you wanted. I could tell you what my mom wanted. I could tell you what my cousin wants. I could tell you what my best friend wants. I could tell you what my clients want. I could even tell you what my husband wants. But I spent a good majority of my time catering to the wants of others, helping other people achieve their dreams, helping other people achieve their happiness, helping give other people what it is that they wanted. And then I'd come home at the end of the day and lay my head on my pillow, feeling exhausted, tired, and still lost on what it is that I wanted. Saddest part about this story was that I had a lot of great friends, people in my life, people who wanted to give to me. They'd say, Sammy, what do you want for Christmas? What do you want to do today? How do you want to spend your time? Where do you want to go? What do you want for your life? What is your biggest dream? I'd sit on dates and they would say, hey, what are you into? What do you like? Do you like my guy voice? What are you into? What do you like? What are your interests? How do you spend your free time? I'd run into conflicts with people I cared about. They'd have very strong opinions on how they thought I should be giving to them in relationships. They had very strong opinions on what I should or shouldn't be doing when I was vulnerable enough to share with them something I was struggling with. There was always a sense of not knowing, looking for my purpose, looking for the thing, looking for the moment, reaching for the next income level, reaching for a better level of friendship, reaching for a leaner body, reaching for more, reaching for more. I was always reaching for more. But if I were to look at you, it's like the world would feel whole. I'd be able to see everything that your world comprises of, even when you didn't see it. I was able to not only see it, but I would give that to you. Tell me if you know what I'm talking about. If you have experienced a life where you were so in tune with other people's worlds, but when it came to your own, either you didn't know your world or you never tended to it. Kath said, yes, I didn't know for a long time. I've done some work on it, but still a bit lost. Kath, my friend, you're in the perfect place today because as a health coach, as someone who cares about women in leadership, women who are on a mission, you guys are visionaries, you guys are leaders. Some of you are business owners, some of you are parents. Some of you are very, very much living your best single life. Some of you guys are the wives to great, fantastic men. Some of you guys know exactly where it is that you want to go. But in your pursuit to get there, like Kath said, it's like I still feel a little bit lost. Ladies, if you haven't been with me so far, this is the introduction to world building. Knowing your world, your life, you, your essence, your flavor. Brandy's here, hi! Knowing you, your texture, knowing your essence, knowing your beliefs, knowing your morale, knowing your direction, knowing clearly who you are. World building is the healthiest place you could be. Because what world building stands for is that you as the visionary, you see a vision for the world. You might see a vision for your kids in the way that they get schooling. You might see a vision for women and their intimacy. You might see vision for the social media space and how you would like to innovate that space. You might see in your career, you might see how your boss is running the business, and you know that you could bring a great idea to make them more profitable, make the company more successful, make the coworkers work more effectively. You might be a person that sees that the world needs more cleanliness. You might see that our ecosystem or our economy or our government or our children, or you might see that there are things out in the world that you have an idea about. Being a visionary is the person that sees the thing that's not yet here. And being a leader is being the person that has the vision and is willing to pull that vision out of your mind and build it here on this earth. As a visionary and as a leader, your intention is to create what is not yet seen. The problem with being a visionary and a leader is that so many of us already live here. Let me know if you already live here. Let me know if you're already living this life where it's like you feel it on your chest. You know there's something that could be better. There are things out there in the world that could be more efficient. There's things out there that could be given more compassion. There are things out there that could be more technologically savvy. You know that there's more. But in your building of that, you don't feel good. You feel tired. You feel lost. Kat says, yes, I'm there. You feel exhausted. You feel overwhelmed. You feel like you give most of the day and then there's no place to recharge for you. You feel like you're talking in conversation with all people all the time and then you're just drained. You can't even rest at night because you've taken on other people's problems so much because you're so empathetic that it wears on your body. Ladies, the beauty of world building is that your goal is to not stop leading. Actually, we want you to lead more. We need your vision. We need your voice. We need your ideas. We need your work ethic. We need your nature. We need your presence. We need you around to build what it is that you want to build. However, what we will not tolerate is that you do it in a way that's detrimental to your health. It's unacceptable. Us powerful ladies walking around with a burning desire and a bloody sleeve. What do you call it? A bleeding heart. That's what it is. So wearing your heart on your sleeve and a bleeding heart. We have so much to give. And it is absolutely unacceptable when we are tired. Because when you're tired, you're not able to give. When you're focused on others, no one can focus on you. When you're putting out all of your valuable resources and no one is refilling you, it's a very sad day for the world. World building is a flip in the paradigm where we say, I am a woman of service. Kath, you also see things they don't see. You are a woman of service. Nancy, you are a woman of service. Brandy, you are a woman of service. You are here to serve the world. There is no doubt in our minds, and we love what it is that you have to give. But the sequence and how we've been giving service has looked like, I serve you first, and then I serve me. Sad part about this is our hearts. We see. Kath sees what they don't see. We see it. We want to help you. I want to help you. Let me help you. I've got an idea. I've got a word. I've got a message. I've got experience. I can help you. Let me help you. If we are helping more than we're taking care of ourselves, ladies, when we're servicing the world before we can service our world, our resources deplete. Because you're so special when your resources, your gift for vision, your compassion, your intelligence, your loud voice, your quiet meticulousness, your fun nature, your humor, when those resources that help so many other people get shriveled up because your body's tired, because your mind's foggy, because you haven't eaten, because you haven't slept, because you didn't say what you were meant to say, because you hid in fear out of showing up socially, because you haven't sorted out some things in your mind, because you haven't taken care of yourself. The sequence of service is off kilter. Ladies, what I want to bring to you today is the concept of the sequence of service. This is something that came to me very recently, and it just encompasses more of what world building is ultimately about. My clients who see the most success, the ones who lose the weight, no matter what they have to go through, no matter how long it takes, the clients who get stronger, the clients who finally rest, the clients who develop better friendships, the clients who make more money, the clients who build deeper intimacy, the clients who win, the clients who get what it is they set out to get and build what it is that other people don't see, the ones who do it no matter the circumstances, are the ones who are committed to themselves first. As a recovering people pleaser, this was one of the hardest lessons I ever had to learn. It's the hardest lesson I had to learn, because what I thought was that when I focused on me instead of you, I was being selfish. I thought me focusing on me meant I couldn't focus on you, and if I can't focus on you, I'm not serving you. My clients who pushed the limits, who were committed to the vision, the thing they didn't see, the body that wasn't quite there yet, the strength that wasn't quite there yet, the relationship with food that wasn't quite there yet, the energy, the mind fog, the disease that wasn't quite there yet, where they saw it being, those clients who pushed through knew they were visionaries. They saw their leadership, they saw their influence on the world, but the only reason they were able to recognize that their health, their value came into the vision that they wanted to see for the world was because they knew what it was they had to offer. When you don't know your identity, when you don't know your resources, when you don't know your essence, your flair, your flavor, your gift, when you don't know it, you can't value it. And this is no fault of your own. But I can promise you the thing that you had to offer was the thing that's been with you your entire life. It's this thing that's nestled down so deep inside of you, it feels so natural to you, it doesn't even feel worthy. It doesn't feel worth anything. It's too easy for you. But when you are rested, when you are fed well, when you have moved your energy, when you have had the release and said what it is you really wanted to say, when you really develop health, you were able to serve 10 times more than you could have ever served before. The truth about the sequence of service, ladies, Kath says, same always thought self-care was selfish, but now, not now, but it's hard to change after so long. It's every day we've got to build what that looks like. And I'm going to talk to you guys about that today, Kath. That's so powerful. The new sequence of service is I serve myself first, and then I can serve you. I serve myself first so that I can then serve you. When I serve myself first, I'm giving to myself what it is that I need in order to be the biggest, brightest, baddest, hottest, sexiest, most powerful, most communicative, most patient, most compassionate, most strong, most verbal, most energetic version of myself that you can experience. I take care of me so that I can feel good with me. And then when I feel good with me, I want to share that with you. If I serve myself first, I come like an iPhone with a full battery. If I serve myself first, my garden is fully tended to. Being in the mind of someone of service, we never want to give more than what we give to ourselves. We can't. But when you know your identity, when you know who you are, you know what you have to give. You cherish it, you nurture it, and you can communicate about it. Back in those days when I was sitting on the dates with these guys, and I didn't know how to answer, what do you do with your free time? What do you like? What are you interested in? It's because I never sat long enough with myself to really ask myself those questions. Now, when people ask me, I'm like, ooh, oh my God, let me tell you, I just did something yesterday. I did something I loved doing yesterday. Let me share that with you. Ladies, giving to the world looks like you tending to your world first. And then, once you are overflowing, when your garden is so rich, so pure, so good, that you're wanting to share that with the others, you are going to have a tenfold effect on the way other people experience you. So what I wanted to talk to you guys about today as we move into the new year is I wanted to bring forward this idea that being of service means, am I filled up first? Am I filled up? Am I good? A lot of times what I would do is when I was feeling a little overwhelmed, a little stressed out, maybe my calendar was booked out, I had a lot of responsibilities, a lot of commitments. Instead of going and resting, letting myself have what it is that I really needed, I would try to turn the key, if the car's already on, I was turning the key so that the ignition was overrun, and I would drink more caffeine. Tell me if you guys have done anything like this. If I was overwhelmed and overstressed, I would take myself to the kitchen, open up the refrigerator, and find something to shove in my mouth to try to bring myself down. Rather than sitting on a conversation with certain people way long time ago in the past, I would just vomit whatever's on my mind. And instead of digesting and processing it, I would bring it to other people and just expect them to have to handle it. Rather than cleaning my space and knowing that my space and my home is a place where I just get to rest and I get to feel so good. Kat said yes. Like I would come in here and I would just throw everything around and I wouldn't tend to my space, and then I would get even more frustrated about the place that I lived in. I used to spend money recklessly, just putting my money out there, no financial health, just putting my money out there because it made me feel good temporarily in the moment. But in all those cases, if I really knew who I was, if I really knew what my world was, what my world brings to the table, I would value it a little bit more. Now, my world is something I want to invest in. Because where you put your time, your money, your love, your attention, and your focus, wherever you put your energy into, those things multiply. You are worth investing in. You are worth investing in. Kat says smoking, procrastination, not sleeping, all of these things. For me at this point, buying stuff I don't need, all of these things, when I see this now, I'm like, ugh, That's an identity problem. It's an identity problem. It's a I've lost sight of my worth problem. I've lost sight of the value I bring problem. It's a I've been living on other people's worlds so long I forgot my own problem. When you function from your world first and give that world out to others, you're not giving anything but you. No pretending to be other people. Amelia, hi. You're not pretending to be anybody else. You're not pretending like you know more than you do. You're not putting your extra energy into things that only need this much. You're able to communicate, hey, this is how much energy I have to give. It looks like you need more from me. I'm going to only be able to meet you up to this point, and after that, I'm going to have to retreat. If you're willing to take the rest, let's do this. But this is where I'm at today. When you have a strong sense of knowing yourself, you can make decisions that are in alignment with yourself. Aligned decision making, ladies. This is the ultimate definition of health. So I want to talk to you ladies today, those of you guys who are here. Let me know where you feel like you are in terms of making decisions, going after your vision, going after what it is that you want, serving other people, serving, being of service. And where do you feel, Miriam, let's go. Okay, y'all are all coming through today. Where do you feel like you're at when it comes to being a part of the world, helping the world, giving to the world, servicing the world? And where are you at with yourself? Servicing yourself, giving to yourself, providing for yourself, loving yourself. Where are you at on the spectrum with both? Hi, oh my God, what's going on, girl? Where are you at? What's real? And not where have you been, really. I even mean so right now in this moment. Because this can be a fluctuating answer. Some days it's like, it's all about me. And other days it's like, I've been giving everything I've got to everybody else. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at? Let's get the real answers. You guys know every live I try to ask one real question. Kath, that is a real answer. 90% of the world to the world and 10% to me. Kath, I would love, if you don't mind, you can just say no, but I would love to hear, how has that been working for you? What does that do for you? What has it given you so far? And what does it leave you with? Like, sometimes, ladies, and here's the truth, there's sometimes where we build ourselves up so well that like we can operate off of 90% to the world, 10% to ourselves, because we're so in tune with who we are. But there tends to be seasons where we might learn something new, or we might experience something that's a little bit more heavy. It's a little bit more detrimental, or it breaks us from connecting with ourselves. And then it turns into we're giving 90% to the world and 10% to ourselves, but we're not getting a return on our investment because we're investing in things that don't know how to give back to us because we don't know ourselves enough yet. So Kath, if you don't mind sharing, I'd love to hear like what has this been getting you so far to give 90% to the world and then 10% to you? Okay, Amelia, I'll come right back. It's draining and it starts to be taken for granted. Exactly. So here's the slippery slope. In premarital counseling, they called it the crazy train. It's like if you were to toss something negative at your spouse, and then rather than stopping the negativity, the spouse tosses something negative back, and then you're like, well, because you said that, and you throw something back, and they throw something back, and now everyone's just going down and down and down to the bottom. That's the crazy train. And what's wild is that the universe can function in the same way. People will function in the same way because we tend to give what we receive. Very, very strong-minded people, very strong-minded people can see what's happening on the crazy train and they can say, I'm not playing that game with you. This is who we want to be. We want to be the women that say, hey, I see that if I engage with you right now, we're gonna go on a loop, and I'm not really here for that because that's not good for my health. But what happens is it's stressful and it's emotionally painful. It turns into an identity. If we stay on the crazy train long enough where life presents something to us that represents a whole that we haven't discovered in our world yet, and it's asking us a question, it's asking a demand, it's asking another level of us that we haven't quite discovered yet, we start to, rather than saying, this is an opportunity for me to go into my world and understand what I am, who I am, how I want to function in these scenarios, we end up trying to play the game. And typically we'll find ourselves in patterns where what we give out, which is not of us, interacts with us to give us more of what we do not want. You guys know what I'm talking about. It ends up being this negative loop, negative feedback loop, where we give a version of ourselves that's not us, and life throws that back. And then before you know it, you're arguing with people, traffic is cutting you off, you start feeling tired all the time, you end up wanting to go to sleep, you want to avoid, you want to shut things down, when just a couple of weeks before, even the day before, you were feeling like you're high flying all over the place. Life is always going to teach us what it is that we need to learn next. But the biggest key to always stay in integrity with what it is that we are currently experiencing is to check in and say, what does my world have to say about this? What does my world have to say about this? Amelia says, definitely more the world than myself. Even when I know what to do, I still don't do it. Resting and getting myself healthy and fit. Ooh! So, if we can, yes, Miriam, integrity. It's integrity. It's integrity. It is absolutely integrity. Amelia, going back into saying, even when I know what to do, I still don't do it. Resting and getting myself healthy and fit. What would happen? What would happen if you took, let's say you're in Kath's bucket, where it's 90% to the world, 10% to you. Hypothetically, in Magic Dreamland, what would happen if you took 10% of what you were giving to the world to slowly initiate more rest and more attention to your health and fitness? Like, physically, what would happen? If you began to flip the sequence of service to where it's less world first and more me first, how would that change you? And as a result, because you're feeling different, how would you show up to the world, and how would the world benefit from that? Amelia says, I will not have enough energy to do what I need, and I'm getting tired. So that right there is the opposite of what you deserve to live. Ladies, I cannot emphasize enough, and I think you guys hear me, but our love for others can, and has gotten in our way. The answer is to not stop loving others, but it's to put our attention, our energy, our time, our money, our focus, and our love right here. It can feel selfish to say, I'm tired and I don't want to go to the New Year's Eve party. I'm sorry, I'm just tired. Your friends are going to come back at you. They're going to say to you what you've always said to them. They're going to say, but you always come. You always come tired. You come no matter what. Why are you stopping now? Why are you changing things now? To you, they will say what you have always said. But when you know your world, in your world, you are a rested, fun, healthy, and fit individual, your mission, your work, is to build yourself up to that. And from that place is then when you interact with your friends. You'd be very surprised what you say. You're like, oh, I know that's what I used to do, but Not anymore. I don't come to everything that I'm committed to. I like to prioritize my health first, and then I'll come see you. I promise. I'll be there, but when I'm there, I'm everything. When I'm there and I'm healthy and I'm rested and I'm fit, the version of me is going to be 20 times more than what you're used to. Amen. Because I can carry. It's like when people tell me, why are you being quiet? I hate that. Exactly. Amelia said, the end, something like this can tend to leave one depressed and not showing light. Exactly. That's the entire problem. It's very sad. But it's only sad if we stay there. This is the part where I just want to smile about it. It's like, it's sad, but when we let ourselves stay there, only if we let ourselves stay there. The beauty is, in Amelia's case, because Amelia, you shared your very beautiful truth. If you know you're giving 90% to the world and 10% to you, and you know that it's leading you to feeling depressed, feeling not strong enough to give your light, feeling sad, like Kath was saying, anxious and overwhelmed and all of it, if it's leading to that, one, what do you think is happening in your body? Your entire body is experiencing that fatigue. It's experiencing the pain. In my eyes, in my profession, this is where disease comes from. Adrenal fatigue, infertility, hormonal imbalances, diabetes, heart failures. All kinds of things start to happen in our body when we just live in this overstimulated, underwhelming place. But two, your life passes you by. Second by second, minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Life ends up passing us by, and all our world is really crying out for is a little bit more rest, a little bit more health, to feel a little bit more fit. Who would you be? What would happen if you decided to shift your ratios to where you service yourself first, as if you're a car? You service yourself first. You get everything tuned up the way you need it. How natural would it be for you to want to give to more people? You have the energy for it. You have the focus. You have the time. You have the energy. You already invested in yourself. You feel alive, and you want others to feel alive too. Ladies, health lies in you. It's not just what you do. Health is your connection with yourself. I'm so grateful for you. Yes, you're so welcome, Amelia. I would argue 80% of our health is how we see ourselves. And it's not even how we see ourselves, it's do we see ourselves. When we can start to see ourselves, and for those of you guys who did the 3 days of world building, you know what I'm talking about. You've seen it. You've seen your world. You know what I'm talking about. There's a flavor, a texture, a pronunciation. There's a way that you stand. There's a way you look, the way you function. The 3 days of world building was us getting clear on who you are. Do you know it? And if you don't, my invitation is that you start looking. Your health, your lack of motivation in the gym, your inability to seem to be able to have control over food, your low energy, your cloudy mind, I can promise you 80% of that is from whether or not you see yourself. And then what we get to do with the rest is we get to say, oh, you want a little line tone on your legs? Well, let's start squatting. Oh, you want to lose the little arm? You want to lose the little arm jiggle? You want to lose the little bit around your waist? That's just as simple as cutting down on carbohydrates. When you discover who you are, there is something to support you. There's a foundation there. And your emotions are happy. Your intentions are clear. Your heart feels ready to do whatever it has to. And your body's like, please, 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 please. When you're in tune with yourself, you're willing to go through whatever it takes to build the body that you want. Ladies, this is true for relationships. This is true for the state of your home. This is true for your business. Whatever it is that you're pursuing in this world, when you service yourself first and you know what it is that you're servicing, you show up on this planet completely differently. Completely differently. So I want to go through and read what you guys are saying, because I know I missed a few. And y'all are awesome, by the way, for just sitting transparently in this conversation. I mean, who wants to hear, oh, I've been living the last 43 years of my life not knowing myself? That's been me. It's been me. And now that I feel like I know who I am and I take action from that space, I feel like my skin is different, you know? It's like I feel like I've got the little twinkle in my eyes back, like when I was little, like, ooh. I feel like I can handle people's confusion and the way that they're not knowing, or their anger, their impatience. I can handle it because I'm filled up. You can navigate what you're navigating. I won't go anywhere. I'm here for you, but just let me know when you're done with your tantrum. I can handle people's curiosities about me and what they want to know about me to build deeper relationship. I can handle if my nephew and my husband make the house a mess and I'm just like, I just cleaned that. I can handle it because my external world does not fully define what I'm experiencing inside. And so I'm always pouring out rather than trying to reach and scrap and pull for things from the outside to pull things in. I already have something in here. This is what I want you guys to feel as you're moving into 2024. I want you to know that the big, crazy things you want to build, if you want to repair your marriage, if you finally want to start running, if you want to buy a new car and reach a new income level, whatever it is that you want to build for yourself and for your life and for the world, you can do it. But if you don't feel supported, if you don't feel like you've got something backing you, it's that you haven't gotten fully clear yet. It's possible you've not gotten fully clear yet on who you are to be able to determine this is for me, this is what's me, and everything else is not. We're going to talk more about this. So let's see. So Miriam says, that's why if you ain't got nothing nice to say, be quiet. It is, okay, that is the truth. Let's see, I know I skipped around a little bit. Amelia says, I will not have enough energy to do what I need to do. I'm getting tired. Miriam says, because I can. It's like when people tell me, why are you being so quiet? And I hate that. And Miriam, I don't know if you've heard me say this already, but that was the number one thing I got when I was a kid. Like, number one thing. My nature is to be quiet, and it's mostly because I'm observing. Amelia says, my obstacle is the more I try to give to myself, I intend to do more studies, trying out new ways on how to help others in a faster, more effective way. So Amelia, because you guys, I'm going to just kind of zone in on Amelia for a second. Amelia, I resonate with that so much. And I want to give something to you here, and for anybody who relates to this, because some of us are so others wired that it's like, what I like for me is to help you, right? It's a little bit of that, but I want to give this to you because if I had my perfect day and in my perfect world, I am learning everything. For those of you guys who aren't in world building, in my world, on my planet, you would find me tinkering around. I didn't do good in chemistry, guys, in college. I'll be honest with you. It's the only thing that I made a C in. I could not grasp, but I would be tinkering around with chemistry things. I would be roaming around in the forest, just looking at the trees. I would be looking down at the ants and how they all move together. I would be studying new subjects in math and history. And if I had the time, I would just be learning everything. I'd be studying systems, business, marketing. I would just be sitting down and learning. But I would be doing it first because I love to learn. I love science. I love reading. I love learning. Now, the difference is, it's in the back of my mind. I know there will be a day where I could help somebody with this information. So what I want to give to you is that I don't see this as an obstacle. I think this is you seeing that this is how you love to live. You love exploration. You love the adventure of how everything's designed. You love systems and processes. I was an engineer in the beginning of college. I love seeing why. I love seeing how things piece together. And the way my memory works is I'm not good at rote memory. I'm good at systemic memory. So when one thing connects to another, I'm like, wow, that wow is how things gel in my brain. So I love learning, and that's what I'm getting from you. You let me know if that's how you feel. And I'm smart enough to know that if I could master systems, I'm a very good communicator because of how I see things systemically. I could either teach you that subject, or if you were struggling in this area of your life, I could talk about how this thing is an analogy and help you see how this thing in your life functions like this and it clicks, right? I love helping people in their systems, and that's how I see you working. So it's an and, not a, oh, I'm only focused on others. So I want to give that to you because I think you have a very intellectual mind. You probably have a systemic mind too. And for those of you guys who resonate with this is one of your gifts. This is one of your essences. You are a learner. You like to learn. People need to study on this earth. There are people that need to pick up information and make it new. So the fact that you also like to give that information to people, it's your world loves learning, and you, in the world, you give that information to others. So it's a two thing. It's a two thing. Miriam says it's hard to understand this when you're coming out of a relationship with been in one of those. You're lost trying to find the old you again. So ladies, I'm gonna pitch this here. And we'll give more information later, but if you guys missed the 3 days of world building, I'm gonna be doing it again. Okay? Miriam, I would love for you to come. We're going to do it outside of the Facebook group, but I would love for you to be there because it is when someone else has had such an impact on your perception of yourself, because whether they boosted you up and then when they're gone, you're like, wait, who am I? Am I still great? Or they've beat you down. They've boxed you in. You lived in a world where people fit a certain box and you knew you were more, or someone was abusive in their words and the way they saw you, and they just pulverize a negative message about your essence in there. It's going to feel painful to try to find you because that voice is going to be louder first. But when we talk about world building, there is a way that literally, I mean, we build your world. And it's a very fun, creative process. It's very childlike. It's very creative. You can look inside of the group. You're going to see women who did collages for it. It is free of anybody else's voice, girl. And I promise you, when we do this again, I would love, 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 love for you to be there, because it's going to start breaking away the old narrative, and it's going to give you the narrative that's always been there since you were a little one. So we can definitely talk more about that. It's a free event, so I'd love for you to be there. Kath says, I feel like I don't care about myself anymore, but this has really hit me today. I love you. I'm so happy to hear that. I'm so happy to hear that. Amelia says, wow, being in tune with yourself, 2024, this sounds like something we need. Guys, I'm telling you, I want you to have everything you want. And I believe that you can have it. I have no fear for you. I have no doubt that you can get it. Miriam, I know you can get yourself back. Amelia, I know you can get all of your certifications and be a rock star coach. Kath, whatever it is that you're pursuing, I know you can have it. There's no question on that. But in your pursuit of making it happen, how many people have been out here hustling, bustling, pushing, elbowing others, stepping on people's toes to get to where they're going? Those people are most likely following something that they were never designed for in the first place. I want you to have your $1 million, and I want you to only have it in a way that feels good, to not just get it, but to keep it. I've seen so many of my clients, we've 10 times X their money into multiple 4 or 5 figure months. And we were able to do that from a place that felt aligned, so that their business could actually stay afloat and it doesn't fall apart as as they try to keep this image on of who they are as they built it in the first place. I've had clients who finally lost the weight, but they didn't do jazzercise and run 26 miles to get there. They actually found their style and how they wanted to eat, and they figured out a method on how to get there in a way that felt good, and it felt very comfortable to keep the weight off. It's so important in how you approach things, not so much what it is that you want. You will always get what it is that you want, but getting there in a fun way and keeping it in a way that feels easy for you, that's the art. That's the art. Love that we already have it inside us. You do. Guys, you have no idea you do. Yes, I continually, I'm getting excited. Yes, I continuously wonder how I can help others instead of myself. And Kath and all of you guys here, I know y'all all feel this way. This just shows how precious you are. We need people who care. We need people who care. I want to really take a moment on that one. We need people who care. We don't want people who care so much that they're unhealthy. There's so many people out there who give more than what they get. And this is where the best caring people, the people who could literally save millions of people, those people are sitting on their couch burnt out because they're waiting for someone to care about them the same amount that they care about others. And the truth is that they have to figure out how to take care of themselves first and then give to others from that overflow. So we're all under this process. We're all learning this lesson. It's a really hard pill to swallow, but guys, I'm telling you, the land of health, building from the land of health, it sounds like it's going to be this whole thing you've got to do. It's the easiest version of living your life. Rest, health, laughter, joy, good conversation, contemplation, learning, finding new ways to be. The answer is the easy answer, and that's the hardest part. My clients are like, I've got to do this. I've got to do all this, right? I got to do all this to lose the 5 pounds. And I'm like, or we could lose the 5 pounds, take a little bit longer, and make sure it never comes back. It's going to be a lot easier. I'm going to ask you to sleep more. I'm going to ask you to laugh more. I'm going to ask you to go out with your friends, stop working as much, reduce the stress, have more joy. And they're like, but I don't know. We're doing things differently. Most of the world looks like that. The way we don't look like the world is we go in the other direction. And guys, I'm telling you, the peace that is out there available for you to find your best success is the easiest life you are ever going to live. And it is scary that when you're happy, you get everything you want. It is terrifying. It's one of the hardest things for me to accept. When I'm happy, I get more things. We're envious of the people who make it look so easy. The truth is they found a place in themselves where they feel worthy and they know what they have to give, and they don't give anything more, and they definitely don't give anything less. We've got a special place for you, and we're going to be talking about this as we're moving forward. Going forward and understanding and building kingdom. Yes, yes, yes. Oh God, girl. No, Miriam, none of that. I'm so happy you're free of that relationship, and I'm so happy that you're talking about it here. We've got you, girl. And when we get to the World Building Master, or the 3 days of world building, when we bring that back around, I'm going to make sure to message you. I'd love for you to be a part of the process. We all had a lot of fun. I always get very good feedback from it. We all have a lot of fun. Land of health. This sounds good. Knowing your identity is key. Amen. Amen. So ladies, I just wanted to tap on the subject. As you guys know, if you've been out of touch with what we've been talking about, yes, ma'am. If you've been out of touch with what we've been talking about, I've got at least 8, 9, 10 videos now of all of the stuff we've been talking about. If you just want to kind of catch up on this conversation, everything before here is leading us up to this moment now. Okay, so this is a series, and we're going to be going for quite a few more months. I've got a lot more to share with you, but for those of you guys who are moving along with the train, I want to talk to you guys about where we're going next. So what we're doing right now is, my intention is to bring more health to leaders. That's why Sammy is sitting right here in this chair talking to you. you're a leader, and my intention, my spirit, my guide, my God, whoever is telling me to be here with you, okay? The goal is that we are talking so that you become healthier. Why? Because we need more of you, okay? That's the bottom line. Now, in the process of us, the world, needing more of you, your service, your gifts, your essence, before we need more of that, we only want to receive it so long as you're willing to give it. My hope is that when you are saying, I'm willing to give you my ears, I'm willing to give you my heart, I'm willing to give you my time, I'm willing to give you my energy, when you say yes to anybody, my hope is that you're doing it because you actually have the resource to give. And when that person exits your life, you're like, ooh, I still have so much in my world that I love. I want you to be able to look around your world and love everything you see in it. And I know it's possible because I finally figured out the code, ladies. It took me years to get here, but there is a promised land that I want to invite you into. Now, it is a land you always have to be ebbing and flowing to, but there's a very fun place for you to be able to create from, and I want to bring you to that. So over the last little while, Natasha, what's going on? Hi, I haven't seen you live yet. So what we're doing is we've been talking about world building, and I've been slowly laying the pieces down because it's a lot and it's a lot to digest. So the initial essence of world building is that you are meant to help the world, but before you do that, we want to build your world. So if you're wanting to build the world, we want to build your world first so that you're supported, so that when you step out of the world, you have a backbone. You have stuff in your life that you love. You have a spouse that you love. You're connected with your friendships. You've got a business that supports you and that a team behind you. You've got a body that's healthy. It's energetic. It's strong. You've got a home that's restful and luxurious, or it's social. However you want your home to be, you get to create all 4 quadrants. And the 4 quadrants are your home, your body, your relationships, and your business. All 4 of these quadrants make up your world. And when you tend to each of them, you should feel supported. It's a life that you've built for yourself. You're proud of all of it. And you're so excited about your life that you're ready to help the world in other people's lives. Now, the idea about this is that we take action in order to make worlds happen. So in order to build your world, you have to actually take action. That means you have to fold the laundry. You've got to clean the closet. You've got to buy the car. You've got to make the money. You've got to do the business. You've got to actually build in order for your world to come into fruition. So what that means is that it's going to take a wherewithal from you. But if you build it from yourself, if you build it from your internal world, it feels like a game. It feels fun. And what happens if you are spiritual or you have a little bit more of a universal relationship, what happens is the world and the universe starts to play with you. God starts to dance with you because he sees that you're in motion and he knows that you're committed to the vision that he's given to you. So in that light, actions build worlds. Nothing out here in this real world, the world that we're all experiencing together, nothing will change without your action as well. So whether you feel called to children or whether you feel called to spaces or the environment or homeless, whatever population or culture or community you feel called to building, it's going to require your action. And I think that us addressing that is very important because a lot of us are dreamers and we sit in our minds and float and imagine a better world, but we're not always willing to take it there. So with that level of responsibility, we want to make sure you're clean. You're cleaned up, you're supported, you're light, you're loved, you're good, you're happy, you're clean, you're healthy, you're all the things. And then you build. From this place, you want to build one brick at a time. You want to build your world. And you want to build the world, one brick at a time. There's a masterclass we hosted last month called the Actionable Clarity Masterclass. The intention was that we prep you up for 2024 so that you're taking daily action on the vision you have for yourself. So you're acting with clarity and you build until you get closer to where it is that you want to go. So a lot more details in that masterclass around, you might know what you want to build, but you keep running into a wall. You can't seem to get yourself there even though you know what you want. It tends to be that one of the other quadrants in your world is missing you. It's missing a part. It's missing something. It's that feeling of you want to grow your business, but your life at home sucks and you can't grow your business. And so there's this push and pull. The idea that most of us try to pursue is that if I work harder on my business and ignore this other thing, then it's going to work. The truth is that we want to go tend to the other quadrant of your life that needs you. And when you build that up, it ends up excelling the other areas of your life. So the Actionable Clarity Masterclass lays all of this out. I'd love for you, it's a 2-day masterclass. I'd love for you guys to go experience Giovanni. And with this being said, what we're looking at now is we've moved into another realm around presence. So if world building is the world around you, your presence is this identity, this aura that you walk around with. Hey girl, what's going on? It's this idea that you are the character in your movie or a character in your video game, and you get to choose and build everything that you want based on your desire and the need that you see in front of you. In the in this light, what we want to look at is that you're a leader, but there's 3 pillars to your leadership. There's your presence, your willingness to be visible, and your ability to create impact. Presence is the season we're talking about right now here in this group. We're talking about presence. There are 2 aspects to your presence to make this aura, this presence that when you walk into a room, people are like, oh, who is she? Who is that? What is that? Your presence is the part of you that people feel. It's this thing that they feel on you. It's this thing that's like, you got something. You seem really strong. You seem confident. You seem open. You seem friendly. You seem welcoming. Each of you guys have a different aura that you offer a room when you walk into it. And that's your presence. Your presence speaks for you before words ever leave your mouth. Your presence is made up of 2 things: your identity and your ability to take care of yourself. Your identity is the month of December, which is what we've been talking about, your world, your 4 quadrants. Do you know your essence, your flavor, your life, your story? Do you know who you are, what you stand for, where you're going? Do you know who you are? And then once you know who you are, the idea is that you know who you are and you want to take care of that. That's health. When you partner identity with health, your aura expands. It doesn't fit well together when you know who you are, but you don't take care of yourself. It's like you don't represent yourself. You don't give yourself good energy. You don't drink water. You don't actually let yourself rest because you know your world needs rest. Health is your amplification of your identity. And the way it plays in reverse is that people who are doing the healthy things, they're checking all the boxes, but they don't know who they are like hamsters running on a wheel, feeling burnt out and still not seeing success. But it's because they don't have the foundation of who they are in order to take care of that. What I want for you over these 2 months is that your presence is something you're proud of. It's something you know, you walk with, you love, you like, you recognize that it affects the atmosphere of a room that you step into. Ladies, everywhere you stand, you are valuable. I'm so happy to hear that, Amelia. Everywhere your feet are planted, I don't care if you're on vacation, if you're pumping gas at the gas station, you're walking around with the hoodie and you don't want, everywhere you stand, you are valuable. And it comes from the essence that is within your identity. When you start taking care of yourself, your identity, as if it's precious cargo, you're going to find it's so much easier to go run, to eat well, to say no, to speak up. You're going to find another level of your energy that's like, and your presence expands. Without the vanity of it, what I want you guys to feel is that the doors open up and you're like, I have arrived. You can have a little vanity in there if you want to. No, but what you want is that when you step anywhere, whether it's a conversation, an uncomfortable conversation with a friend who you love so much, but you guys are a little off, you want to know that your presence carries one of peace, of love, of truth, of knowing, of camaraderie, of amicability. We want your presence to carry everything you represent so that you and your friend can find your way back to each other. You want that when you enter a boardroom or a business meeting or a sales deal, that your presence, the style, the way you carry yourself into that deal is going to represent you, and that person will meet you there. This is leadership. This is one-to-one relationships. This is business. When you have your presence, your aura, and it speaks for you, you're nurturing, you're compassionate, but you do it with a little grit. If you know this and you step into a confrontation with your child and you want to show them something that they don't see yet, you do it with such grace and patience. We want that wherever you stand, you elicit change. This is called influence. And when you have an influence, what happens is people think differently. They match you. They come into that part of themselves because you're demanding that they call into or step up into this better version of you, of everyone. And when they meet you there, this is where magic happens. This is where people who are in conflict, people who haven't felt heard, people who don't feel seen, people who don't feel understood, this is where they get to meet themselves. And when you come from a place of overflow like this, you're not responsible for the other person's outcome. You're responsible for being a representative of your world. And they can decide whether they want to opt in or they want to opt out. This is how we start seeing people market better. This is how we start seeing sales pitches going in a direction that we desire. This is how we start seeing conversations bringing out truth. This is how we start seeing more peace in homes. This is how we start seeing so much more. And it's because you have chosen to represent the best parts of you. Because all of the bad things were just experiences that you've had that you haven't let go yet. Your truth is always there. And when you know your truth through your world, your identity, you want to take care of that so that you always stay open to whatever life is ready to throw at you. And when you experience opportunities and miracles and random happenstances, you experience that person cutting you off in traffic, you're like, I'm living in my own world. That's what you want. This is how we all get to be influential in our own unique right. When you create that space, your presence is strong. It creates a desire to want to take care of ourselves more. This is where motivation from health comes from. And I needed to talk about identity before I could talk to you truly about health, because so many of my clients, so many people come and ask, how do I stay motivated? How do I stay consistent? If you've struggled with that, I love you so much. What you're saying to me is you haven't learned yourself yet. When you learn yourself, health is easy. Health feels natural, it feels normal, because any unhealthy action feels like it's taking you away from the goodness of you. When you know yourself, it's all you want. It's all you want to be. It's all you want to give. And anything that takes you off of that, you say, You might stop drinking. You might stop caffeinating. You might like how slow you really feel. Caffeine drives you forward. You might like how you feel without gluten. It doesn't make you bloated and get questionable about what you're wearing. And hold on just a second. I'm getting very passionate and my throat just got dry. But guys, do you feel what I'm saying? Excuse me. Do you feel what I'm saying? When you know you, health is easy. When you know you, it's not, When you know you want to figure out how to expand you. And when you're constantly pursuing you, what happens is other people notice it. Other people notice that. Kath, thank you for sitting here through this whole live. I'm so happy you're here. I'm glad you feel it. When you know you, guys, life feels easier. You're gonna have a whole new problem on your hand where people are gonna be like, why is it so easy for you? And you're gonna say, hey, I'd love to bring you to a place where you know yourself. And then we can talk. Imagine if we all knew ourselves. How differently would we interact with each other? How differently would our expectations of ourselves be here? How differently would we expect? If I care about me, I want you to care about you. So if you need to rest, you don't have to come to the party, to the New Year's Eve party. Go do you. I'll be here when you're ready, because I'm good over here. I'm like, my whole world is a party. So you go do you. I'm good. But next time I see you, I can't wait, because I want to see you when you're restored. Imagine if you were given that permission, and imagine if you were able to give that permission to others. How much deeper and more intimate would your relationships be? And how much more trust would you feel like you had about how life does this? It'd be so different. Unpredictability would be the name of your game. You'd be like, I wasn't expecting that, but I'm good. Guys, I want to spend, what we're moving into now is this new month in January is going to be all about health. I'm going to talk to you guys about health in this frame. It's going to be built off of what we've been talking about up until this point. My intention is that you guys are doing what you need to do for the world. If you haven't seen the 3 days of world building, which is where we really define what your world looks like, feels like, and what you can operate from, that's going to be, I'm going to host another round of that in January. So if you missed it, that's okay. But if you want to do it again, you can do it again with me. We're going to make it a big old deal. And so I can't wait to invite you guys in. Now, what I want to share last is that as we transition into health, we're going to move away from identity, but it's still going to be a part of the conversation. I don't have much more to teach about it per se. Now we want to move into health and reframe your relationship with health. If you guys know anybody who would benefit from this conversation, it's a big one. If you know anybody that would resonate with this, invite them into the group. Let them know that they can come have this dialogue, and you guys as 2024 resolutioners, you can go off and do this with friends together. But what I'm planning on offering over the next couple of months is the first offer is a mastermind for those of you guys who love this idea of world building, and identity, but we're like, oh no, we're moving away from it. I'm hosting a world building mastermind, which is a year-long mastermind that I ran last year, and it was phenomenally successful. The women inside, we were able to upgrade their homes, cure and heal different relationships, upgrade their intimacy in their relationships. We were able to get a better frame on how they wanted to show up in their relationships. We moved into their bodies. They had access to my fitness programs. We got them stronger, more mobile. Some of them weren't able to walk very long distances due to injuries and pain. They were able to heal that part of their world and upgrade that quadrant. We talked a lot about relationships, I think, which I just shared. And then business. We started to just touch on the beginnings of business. Now, I have a program down in the future that I'm going to offer that's all just business. For those of you guys who want to scale your businesses and bring your businesses forward online, I've got an entire program for you guys that I'm planning out in 2024, but that's going to be a few months from now. Right now, my goal is to make sure that you ladies feel supported. You feel supported in who you are, what you are, and why you are. And when you feel strong there and you curate your immediate environment, your home, your relationships, your body, the back end of your business, when you can curate that to support you, from there, then we can look at business so that you can go out and impact the world. So the World Building Mastermind, we're going to start in the middle to late January. And then another program that I'll be announcing later next month is I'm going to bring back my fitness programs, but reinvented. I'm doing them on a completely new app, which I'm very excited about. It's much more clean. It looks awesome. And for those of you guys who know you want to get stronger, you want to lose weight, you want to tackle food, you want to do all of those things, especially in this context where it's all an attribute of you trying to become a better version of yourself for the mission you have for the world, I'd love to invite you guys into that too. So both of these are an early bird right now. So if you want to come talk to me about those, or if you just want a little bit more information, I'd love to share that with you. And then you can take the however many more weeks it is until they're out to think about it. Or if you know you want to jump in right away, I love my fast action people. If you know you're ready to build either aspects of these parts of your world, come message me, come talk to me, and I'd love to invite you guys in. So with that being said, inside of the group, we're going in. We're going in on health. We're going to talk about health, how it frames up with your identity. How can we get you into a much larger standing space? My hope is that you guys start telling me what it is that you begin to attract as a result of a greater presence. I want to see your bodies get healthier, leaner, reduced with disease. I've seen this happen with my private clients, but guys, I'm telling you, just these conversations alone are such a reframe that it makes you walk and talk a little bit differently. And that's the first step. So for those of you guys who have been here, really quick, I wanted to read this comment. Amelia saying, having a lovely godly husband is a true blessing. And by having one myself, I can honestly say that this is something that really builds your world. Support from a partner is what helps us move forward. Guys, if I didn't have Patrick, y'all, I could have done this, but it feels so different when you have people in your life. I want to make this community where we have each other in our lives as we do this. So ladies, as you guys engage and contribute and share and talk and share your story, share what you're experiencing, this is a free space for you guys. As you guys know, the only thing I ask is that you don't sell, but I want to hear your celebrations and I want to hear your encounters and I want to hear what you realize. Like, I want to hear those things. So the goal here is for us to all cheer each other on in 2024. And the idea is that when we come back around this time next year, we're that much more built out and ready to service the world in a whole new way. So with that being said, ladies, thank you for your time. Thank you for being here. We went the long haul, but I'm so grateful for it. And if you guys have any questions about the World Building Mastermind or the future fitness programs, I'd love to talk to you guys about that inside of my DMs. So with that being said, ladies, here's to becoming more active and attractive. And I can't wait to see you guys next Thursday on another Facebook Live. I love you guys. And looking forward to 2024. Happy New Year's, guys. We'll talk to you soon.